What's up guys, we're here at the Royal National Hotel. I say we, actually riding solo, and we're here today for the London gaming market. I think it's been going on for about 2.5 years now. However, we haven't been, I say we again, me and Rudy haven't been here for 2 years, so not necessarily here to pick up a lot today, just to see people and see what's available and just catch up, you know, see what the scene's like, and here we go. What's up guys, so I'm back from London Gaming Market. I'm actually filming this on Monday, the following day. So I'm just going to do a quick review of it and show you the few pickups that I did get. It was very busy, so I really didn't feel like doing a lot of filming myself. Wasn't really the same without having someone there to shoot with and follow around with the camera and have them film me and just going around filming sort of the shots and everything. Didn't really feel right, so as you can see I did a quick once around circuit just so you could sort of see sort of the size of the event and how big it and sort of the amount of people that were there. And I got there just after sort of 12, so that was just as the regular entry sort of began, so it was probably during its sort of peak time of number of people there, and it was on and off difficult to get round the stalls, but not too bad though, not as bad as I think it's been there before. And the first time me and Rudy went, at times it was really hard to get to where you wanted to be, but people were polite and you'd be able to sneak in where you wanted. I always find though, because I was actually looking for, one thing I not mentioned, one game I was looking for was F-Zero GP Legend for the Game Boy Advance, which is one of the F-Zeros I've never actually played, and I know they released a sequel to that one in Japan as well, which I'd also like to pick up at some point, even if it's Japanese text. I'm sure it's not going to take too much away from it. I know there's more story driven sort of sections in that one, but yeah, I was on the lookout for that. But crate digging for loose Game Boy Advance games is a real chore, because you know the sellers will, as you'd expect, just have them stacked up, so you're literally like flicking through, pulling them out, flicking through to find the right titles. And Nintendo have been a pain for that since, you know, the SNES and N64 days, and not having anything on there on the side, on the sleeve, to be able to just sort of sift through the games. So yeah, I was spending a lot of time looking through the Game Boy Advance games that everyone had, but there wasn't a lot of the great titles I really spotted there. A lot of them were just sort of shovelware and stuff like that, which is a shame for Game Boy Advance, because I do love that console, and I actually took my Game Boy Micro with me on the train to play some Link to the Past, which started again for the first time, and I'm actually going to carry on with this version of it this time, because normally I'll get started, I'll get so far in, I'll get distracted by something else. But yeah, so it was quite busy, and yeah, I was mainly looking for sort of the Game Boy Advance games, that particular F-Zero game. And I mean, I can get it on eBay, but when I do get the chance to buy that at events like that, I prefer to give business to the traders, you know, than just buying on eBay for the sake of it. But now, because I won't be going to another sort of event like that for probably till Revival next May, so you know, I'll keep an eye on eBay to see if I get it at a good price. But I might just wait till then and try my luck again then. I've got so much back catalogue to play, I don't need to be picking up that F-Zero anytime soon. So yeah, it was. I didn't really bump into anyone because in the end, as far as you know, it wasn't a lot of people I knew personally who were going to go. Might find out afterwards if anyone watches this and said that they went. But I purposely went around to pick up sort of the flyers and the business cards for all the different sellers and traders and that there, because nice to have a little collection of that and start following everyone on Twitter and Facebook and stuff and Instagram and see who's actually regularly going to these events, because there was a few of the guys who made it to Revival, like Saw Fun Gaming and stuff like that, so that was cool. So yeah, it was, you know, nice to see that the traders are up and down the country for these sort of things, because obviously there's not as much going on down in the south. A lot of it is sort of, like you say, Revival in the Midlands, and then way up north in Donny and Leeds, so for the video game market, which obviously is a bit of a trek for us to really get to warrant the trip. But yeah, it was a good event. I'm glad I went. Yeah, like I say, it wasn't as good going by myself, but it's just nice to see the stuff that's out and see what the scene is like with the traders, and you know, it's always fun to sift through NES games. I'm particularly looking for boxed versions of. Well, it's an ongoing plan. It's, you know, I've got no rush or deadline to get this done, but to get box versions of the entire mainline Super Mario series. So obviously the first three on the NES. World on the SNES, 64, Sunshine, Galaxy 1 and 2, and then obviously 3D World, on the Wii U, and Odyssey. Most of these several of the newer ones I do have boxed, but I will be going back. There was a very, very good copy of Super Mario Bros. 3, great condition box, for £30, which was quite good. It was the best one on show. There's a few boxed copies of Mario 3, but some were tatty or were missing parts. But money-wise, right now, I'm not in a rush to sort of pick that up. But it's nice to know that there's going to be regular copies of that. Same with Super Mario Bros. 1. There's a few boxed copies of that. Again, reasonable quality one for 20-25 quid. Didn't see any copies of Mario 2 there. A few Mario Worlds. But with games like Mario World, I can, you know, I've got the cart anyway. I can just get either a repro. I'd be happy with a repro case, or if it's a good quality. But we'll worry about that. That's an ongoing plan. As far as pickups go, didn't really pick up too much, but that was never the plan. It was really originally to meet some tubers, which didn't really happen. And yeah, just to enjoy the day out and just sort of check out what's going on right now. So firstly, I'll talk about the one game I did pick up for myself. You may laugh at this, but I'm more intrigued by it than anything else, and it's Worms Pinball on the PS1. I like pinball games on consoles, especially, you know, they never seem to get great ratings, but I really like True Pinball on the PS1, which is a game you can pick up for £1 or £2 now. It's so cheap, but it's from good memories of mine of having that, because it was a game that my gran got me, you know, 20 plus years ago. Yeah, probably about 20 years ago for a Christmas or a birthday. So I'd never ever sell that on, just for the sentimental value that it was brought to me by my late grandmother. And it's a good pinball simulation. I bought this because I love the Worms games, and you know, on the back it looks like it would be a reasonable game. Whether or not it is another thing. But £3. I did have a look around because I saw it a couple of times for 4 or 5, and then luckily, even though it's the best of Infogrames one, makes no difference to me. I'm not fussed about these sort of, you know, it can be platinum or best of collections, I don't really care. So I'm happy just to have it in the collection, and I will get around to playing it. The next thing I got was actually, this is bad if he actually watches this, because this is going to give away a Christmas present for him. But it's a PSP game. It's from my brother-in-law. It's Ford Street Racing LA Duel. Now he's a big car nut and he loves his Ford cars, and this game, I don't know about the reviews or anything, but it has a lot of the classic Fords in there and a lot of newer stuff as well. Actually looks like a decent game. Made by Explosive. I'm trying to think if I know what other stuff that they've released, but I'm really not sure. Yeah, racing game. There's tons of them on the PSP. I'm sure there's better ones, but again, this was only £3, so be good for his collection. And he might, even if he doesn't play it, he'll probably have it like stood up on his shelf because he just loves his Ford stuff. So something good for him to have. And one other thing I haven't got to show, but I picked it up from my wife as a present, was Lilo and Stitch movie poster. But it was kind of like the guy was selling, he had a load of movie posters. He had a Disney one, a folder that you could look through, and a lot of them were the traditional sort of Disney style movie posters, and then any of the more modern films like Lilo and Stitch, you know, it's only in the last 15 years or so, they were sort of like traditional looking posters, sort of in the old school style. So, and she loves Lilo and Stitch, so I had to pick that up, and I think, you know, we won't necessarily put it up yet because we haven't got a lot of wall space, but when we move would probably be a good time to find a nice space for that to go up. And the last thing I got was actually a lucky find, and it was something I was probably going to resort to buying on eBay, but then I saw it here. Obviously I wanted to buy it if I saw it, and this is actually something I used to own as a child, but I had an idea behind it, and I was hoping I could still find this up in my parents' loft, that I still owned it, but I didn't. And it's a book. It's Super Mario Brothers Trapped in the Perilous Pits, which is just a short story, Mario story. Not going to give too much away because I'll tell you why. I got that for £10, which I thought was a really good deal because it goes for sort of $20-25 on eBay. And the idea behind it is I want to record something for my baby son, and that's me reading the story to him on video, using a lot of Mario sound effects and imagery from the book, kind of like Jack and Nori's story basically, if you remember that in the UK, but with a Super Mario theme. I'm going to decorate the room when I film, and it'll be something for him to keep and watch, you know, when I'm at work one day and my wife needs him to sit down for 10 minutes, then she can stick the DVD on and he can watch Daddy reading the story in a silly voice. So I wanted to do that. I'm going to actually record that soon because I want to give it to him as his Christmas present. He's only 7 months old at the moment, so it's something hopefully he'll appreciate a bit later on in life. But that's the plan. So I was just really happy to get this. I think there's a Zelda book as well in this series. But yeah, I never really saw this out and about, and I was gutted when I couldn't find it in my parents' loft because a lot of this sort of stuff I kept or just got put away and never got moved on. Unfortunately this wasn't one of them, and I was quite gutted when I couldn't find it, and then I was reluctant to pay out the $20-25 on eBay for it, although I was probably going to give in if I didn't see it any cheaper. But to find that out in the wild for £10 was a really good find, and obviously the book can be his now. You know, he might not even be in Super Mario, but it's just a gift I can, you know, a more hands-on, creative gift that I can give to him, which I'm really looking forward to filming. So yeah, that was it. I didn't really pick up a lot, and that was never the plan, as you might have heard in my previous video building the show up. I'm not sure when I'll be going back to London Game Market again, because I think the next one's not till sort of springtime now, and I'll probably be saving more for Revival in May, just because I prefer Revival in the sense that you have a lot of the sellers there, not obviously as many as this, but more than enough sellers to look for merch and stuff and games, and then all the stuff to play, and the community is more a little bit older, well not necessarily a little bit older, but I think the community is just more a friendly atmosphere. People aren't just there for the buying, they want to hang out, they want to play classic games, they just want to have a few beers and stuff, you know. It's more of a sort of, you know, I can't think of the word, over my head. It's Monday, you know, it's been a long day, so but more of a community, we'll say. But yeah, still recommend London Game Market if you wanted to pick up stuff, because, you know, sellers, they do good prices. There's nothing too overpriced, and It's worth looking around because you might find something slightly cheaper elsewhere, but you know, they're all clever sellers. You know, they know what things are worth and what they can make a profit on, and at the end of the day, they need to make a profit. That's their thing. But yeah, I'd recommend going. Like I say, it probably won't be. We won't be going again. Hopefully, Rudy will be coming next time, but it probably won't be till the summer show next summer. So, you know, a little while away. Yeah, that's a long time away. Maybe there'll be another one. I'm trying to think. They do 3 or 4 a year, but I think there's normally a gap between now and sort of springtime before they do another one. So the dates are on their website anyway. You can check that out. But anyone who went there, drop us a comment. Let us know what you picked up. Thank you guys for watching. Sorry to let you down with the lack of filming, because I thought I was going to do loads, but it's not awkward to film by myself, but it was just unnecessary, you know. There's only so much of, you know, me filming the stalls and showing it to you on camera. We've done it plenty of times before. We'll make more of a day video if there's more of us going, but that'll be next time, because I think there's a few of my friends who really want to go to one of these things, like Sam, the Hardcore Gamer, so yeah, check his channel out as well. I know he's wanting to come to events and pick some stuff up. So, cheers guys for watching. What have I got coming up? We have a new retro gaming music show coming up soon. I said this last time, it is coming soon. We do have the video from Revival still to get out, and I do apologise to Craig Turner because I keep saying we're going to get that out sooner rather than later. But that will be out, so maybe we'll push that when I know they've got a mini event coming up in the next month or so. So maybe we'll push that video just before that event, get the hype up for that. There's another Black Arrow Gaming Talk still on this trusty laptop here that needs editing. So we do have content. It's just a case of me finding the time and getting it out. So I appreciate you guys being patient with all this, and yeah, catch you guys soon. Take care.